Julia. I just graduated from Pinecrest. I was on the green bus. I was with Jordan and Lori, and I really didn't grow up very religious at all. It was kind of my family. We kind of decided how we wanted to practice Judaism, and I chose not to have a bat mitzvah. And on the second day of this trip, we stood in front of a mass children's grave, and I cried with Shayna, and I was hugging the Holocaust survivor Anya, who you saw in the video, who I'm actually going out to lunch with next week. And I decided in front of the mass children's grave that I was going to have a bat mitzvah with all of these new strangers that I had never met before. And as the week progressed and we did the actual March of the Living and we marched with 15,000 other Jews, I was so definitive in my decision that every meal I would go up to the rabbi and I was like, okay, how soon can we get this show on the road? Like, it's gotta happen. And the actual day of marching was one of the most powerful days I've ever had in my entire life, because I was speaking in Spanish to people from South America talking about Judaism, and I'm not fluent in Spanish, it's just from the basic knowledge that I've had, and that was crazy. And I was like, oh my God, here are these people literally on the other side of the world that I share an identity with, and I'm able to communicate with them about it. It was amazing. And then Shabbat was easily one of the best nights ever. We had a lot of fun on Shabbat. And when we got to Israel...
Do you want to, I'm sorry, can you say what we did on Shabbat?
We went to the Chabad in Warsaw, right?
They had a tent, yeah.
And it was incredible. It was crazy. It was none of us really knew what to expect. We were all just pretty hungry. We had just kind of walked around for a while, and we got there, and there was all of this delicious food laid out for us. And then we had a full dance party, and there were all these local people who kind of came to dance with us. And we were like, this is crazy. We have videos. It was a really, really good time. Yeah. And one of I think the most impactful moment in Poland for me was we stood in a crematoria in Majdanek, and Rabbi Brody, none of us had really broken down until that point in Majdanek, for that day at least. And everyone kind of couldn't handle it anymore. And Rabbi Brody had us yell our Hebrew names out. And it was one of the most powerful experiences of my entire life. My now best friend, who I didn't know a month ago, has it all on GoPro. So you guys will definitely be seeing that because she sent it over. But it was so crazy. It was so impactful and powerful. I didn't know any of these people. And it was while I was getting ready for a bat mitzvah with people who I didn't know. And then we got to Israel. And my friends and I literally kissed the ground when we got to Israel because we really did feel like we were home. And I'd never been to Israel before. And I had a lot of friends who had, and they tried to keep explaining it to me. And it's one of those things that I don't think is explainable. After you've experienced Poland, you get to Israel, and you really just do feel like you're home. And Israel is beautiful. It was just a beautiful week. And the highlight of Israel was my bar mitzvah, because I had a bar mitzvah on Masada with people who I spent Shabbat with the last 2 Fridays. And they're people who are going to be in my life for the rest of my life. And the trip impacted me so much that I was undecided in what I was going to minor in college, and I came home and the first thing I did was I logged onto my portal and I changed my minor to Jewish Studies. So take it from me, you need to go on this trip.